Today on the Managing Creative Studios podcast, I'm joined by Caleb Thompson, founder and visual effects supervisor at Masters of Reality, one of New Zealand's leading VFX studios. Caleb's career spans some of the biggest productions in film and television, from Mad Max Fury Road and Game of Thrones to Jumanji and Megan. After years of working at top studios across Canada and Australia, he's returned home to build a thriving VFX company that's pushing boundaries in film, television, and machine learning. So in this episode, we're going to talk about Caleb's journey from his early days at media design school to creating award-winning work, his thoughts on New Zealand's visual effects industry, tax incentives, and how he's built a studio culture that values creativity, collaboration, and balance. Welcome to the podcast, Caleb.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you here. I've been very excited about this one. You've done some worked on some really amazing things.
Cool. Yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
So let's start with your uni years. So I did a bit of LinkedIn stalking and I saw that you've done at Wintec a Bachelor of Media Arts, majoring in digital media.
Correct. Yeah.
And then you also went to media design school.
Yeah.
So what was the thinking behind that?
So when I left uni, we kind of just started to get into, this is going back a long time, by the way. So this was more like After Effects, if you're familiar with that software. We kind of only just started getting into that software while I was there. We made some really cool things, like some really cool short videos and things. But I wanted to basically explore that further. And at the time, media design school were offering a 1 year kind of great postgraduate course. And I was just really excited to check it out. And I'm really glad I did, because Steve Dorner, who ran that class, is now a close friend of mine. He's just become the Dean of Media Design School.
Wow.
Congrats to him. He's an incredible guy. He's done so much for our industry. So, and I'm really glad to be like an alumni of that school, because like half of our team are from Media Design School. Half of the industry comes, more than that. Most of the industry come out of Media Design School. So yeah. What
was your first industry job and how did you land that?
Right, so that's interesting. So after I'd left Media Design School, I wanted to get into visual effects, obviously, but at the time there weren't a huge amount of jobs going, and there weren't a huge amount of companies either. There was Weta, and then there was PRP, which is what are they called? Pacific Renaissance Pictures. I don't know if you know those guys. So they did all the Power Rangers stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I really wanted to work for them, because they were the people. They were the company that was in Auckland. And George Port ran that company, and he's an incredible guy. He's a veteran of the industry. He's now in New York, and there's lots of history there. But so I wanted to work for them, but I didn't quite have the reel that I needed to get in there. So I ended up going to TVNZ and working there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe a year or two. I can't remember how long it was. But anyway, so something that they had there, which was an incredible resource, was cameras and green screens and things like this.
Yeah.
So I went out and shot all this footage and things and did zombies and all sorts of crazy VFX that was kind of like, at the time, cool. Yeah. And put together a reel and then got a job there. So, it was kind of interesting. And I loved my time at TVNZ. I worked with some incredible people there as well.
What was your job title there?
So I was doing more like motion graphics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because at that time as well, like a lot of the courses were like VFX, but also motion graphics was huge then. So so I was doing more motion graphics work, kind of the more After Effects stuff, vector-based stuff.
Yeah. And so for me, there were two sort of pivotal film moments in my life. So I had a Lord of the Rings gifted to me for my birthday when I was a kid on VHS, and I watched that like 40 times. And that was after seeing it many times at the cinema, and I knew sort of at that point that I wanted to go into film in some way. I sort of wanted to build sets or something. And then there was when I was at art school, not somewhere where you really learn to build sets, unfortunately, but I didn't have a very good careers advisor at school. I was watching B-movie, of all movies. I don't know if it's an especially great movie, but I used to sit there and watch director's commentaries of movies, and I was sitting there watching the director's commentary of B-movie, and I was like, this is what I need to do. I need to be doing 3D animation. So I started looking up 3D schools and stuff, and I do find that a lot of people from sort of a film and television background have these pivotal film moments where you sort of watch something and you're like, this is it. Did you ever have anything like that? Was there ever a TV show or a film that made you want to go into this area?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in film my whole life. Like, I grew up watching Superman and those types of films, which is more special effects and things. My granddad was a huge film buff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he had like just a huge amount of DVDs, DVDs and VHS actually initially. And then my uncle also owned a blockbuster.
Oh, cool.
And I remember getting boxes of VHS. So I'd just sit and watch and watch and watch. I think Terminator 2 was a huge one for me when I was young. Yeah. Like, I just watched that over and over and over again. I thought, that was pretty amazing, pioneering VFX from ILM and that with T2. So I think probably that. I mean, Star Wars, obviously, is incredible. Blade Runner. I mean, I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. I mean, and I love Martin Scorsese. I mean, I binge watched Martin Scorsese for years and years, just over and over, watching Casino and Goodfellas, and
Yeah.
And I also really love Terry Gilliam. So Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was another film that was like a big one for me.
Oh, yeah?
So not super VFX heavy, but just great films. Like if you watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and The Big Lebowski as well, those films are incredible. Like if you, they're just cinematic masterpieces, to me.
Yeah. And then, so you worked in New Zealand for a while, but then you went over to Canada for a bit. Was that like an OE experience, or did you just go where the work was, or what was that about?
No, so basically I went TVNZ, and then I was at PRP for a couple of years, and then I think I actually did I go to Canada or Australia next? Was it Canada, wasn't it?
I thought there was Canada. I've got Zoic Studios in Canada.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I think Australia for a bit after
the
that.
funny thing with you, when you're a contractor or a freelancer, and I was having drinks with the VFX on-set department for Evil Dead recently. A really good friend of mine's VFX soup on that. And, like, I was talking to him, like, about all the memories you have as, like, a contractor freelancer. They all get so blurry because you've got so many, because you're always moving. Like, you're moving every 3-6 months. Yeah. So, I think I was, you're right. So, Vancouver. No, I specifically moved there for the VFX industry. It's the VFX hub of the world. So, I went there for experience, and that was incredible. Yeah.
But you came back.
Well, so I was also in a band at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we were asked to tour with a band that I love around New Zealand. So I was like, I can't turn this down. Yeah. So I came back to tour with them, and then I think while I was back, did I go to RSP after that in your notes?
Not in my notes.
Okay, sweet. So I think I went to Australia after that. So I continued on from there. But that was why I went there, and then that's why I came back.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because my best mate who I studied with here, she went over to Canada, and she's now bought a house over there. She's not coming back.
No,
so she's in visual effects as well.
I mean, so many people go there and don't come back. Yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of people that I was very good friends with were expats, and they ended up like just loving it and being there. Like, I was meant to be here a year, and now I'm like 15 years later kind of thing.
Yeah, wow.
It's an incredible country. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good, yeah.
And why is it that visual effects are so big over there? Do you think?
Yes, I do know. Starts with an R. Rebate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's what attracted. That's what was the initial attraction. Since then, it's grown an incredible community. Yeah, like it's the best community of VFX artists in the world there.
Yeah. The head of, the director of the Visual Effects Guild did an interview recently with RNZ, and she was talking about how we desperately need to improve our tax rebate because we're 20% at the moment.
Yep.
Australia is 30%, and I think England is, the UK is 39% from memory. I don't have the stats on Canada, but yeah, it's something that we desperately need to improve.
Yeah, that's right. So New Zealand's 20%, Australia's 40%, Perth has just gone to 50%.
Jeez.
UK is around that 40%. I think Canada's 38%. So globally, the benchmark's about 40%. And the tax incentive is the main drive for productions.
Yeah.
So us not having a competitive rebate it means we have no skin in the game, and they're just essentially not looking at us as a destination for productions, which is very tricky for small studios and mid-sized studios. I mean, it's tricky obviously for Weta at this point too.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we could increase our rebate to by 10%, just even 30%, it would attract a lot more productions to New Zealand and support our community. So
yeah, because the study that Bree was talking about was saying that 43% of companies were looking elsewhere to take their at least part of their productions elsewhere, because New Zealand's just not the place for that anymore.
I'm currently talking with Austrade and Ozfilm about moving, well, not moving, but starting Masters of Reality in Australia as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
mean, I can't wait. I mean, I can't sit around having a company and wait for the government to make these changes. We've put an incredible amount of data together. We've met with them. I'm hoping there is change, but I can't wait on. You
can't just sit around out of loyalty to New Zealand, out of patriotism. You have to actually go where the money is, right?
That's right. I mean, you're trying to support. You've got to look after your company, and I think something I really struggle with is that our opportunity is our success is capped by the lack of opportunity. Yeah. So if we had that rebate increase and we had more productions coming here, it would just encourage such a healthier ecosystem for our industry.
Yeah, because people want to come here, right? Like, we have the landscapes, we've got it all here, but we just don't have the incentives.
That's right, and it's not a handout. It's unfortunately, however you want to look at it, the rebate is something that's set globally. So we just have to meet that rebate. Yeah. And I get that it comes out of taxpayers' money. Yeah. But if we increase that rebate, then we have an upwards of $140 million coming back into our economy.
Yes.
So it's why Australia pushed so much for it. And why they're constantly increasing it, because there's such a huge opportunity for the economy there, and bringing so much more money into New Zealand and our industry. So
and it does. So that's it's a bit painful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's frustrating, but like I said, I'm not in a position just to sit around and wait.
Yeah. So I mean, because you've worked in so many different studios, what would you say is maybe a stereotype of the industry? Like, is it the visual effects industry full of gossip and drama, or is it what's it like working as an employee rather than a manager?
I would say that, and this is the other thing. Like, when people talk about handouts for our industry, I'm like, oh my god, if you knew how hard people work, they're incredibly hardworking people. I think overtime, is a constant, which is unfortunate and something I'm very proud of within Masters of Reality is that we don't do overtime. We've managed to avoid overtime for the 4 years that we've been running.
That's interesting, because I had a question in here about how much overtime was worked, because visual effects is at the end of the chain, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so I kind of always imagine that you're always under the pump. Like, there's no relax time in what you do.
Yeah, it's demanding.
Yeah.
But it's about being it's about managing schedules really, really well. Unfortunately, I have an incredible VFX producer, Celine, who does an incredible job.
I've met Celine a few times actually over a few drinks. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've got mutual friends, so yeah, we've met a couple of times. I've grilled her on like what project management systems she uses and stuff.
Yeah. She's a very, very smart lady. And then also just making sure that you're supporting your client along throughout the whole process. Like if there's something you need to make sure that you're talking with them about it, so it doesn't become a bottleneck later.
Yeah.
Those types of things. But we've done an amazing job of avoiding everything. It's part of our core values, so it's really important for us to make sure that we stick to that. So I mean, when I say none, I think we've done in total in 4 years. I think if you added the hours together, it might equate to 2 days.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
I always wondered, so when you work on a film or television show, who is it that comes to you? Who briefs you? Because it's not, I mean, I imagine it's not the director. It could be the producer or the head of cinematography. Like who actually briefs the visual effects company?
So we work with the client side, VFX supervisor and VFX producer, but we'll also work with the director on calls. But I mean, typically the VFX supervisor will be helping us understand the vision of the director and working with them.
Yeah.
And we will have calls with the director as well, but typically it's with the VFX supervisor and VFX producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And I mean, I think what makes an incredible project, and I'm just jumping to this because we've worked on some amazing projects recently. It's the people that make it amazing. Like client side VFX producers and VFX supervisors that we've worked with have been so amazing to work with. And it makes the job so much more fun when everyone's, just on the same page, working towards the same, just trying to make the work as best as possible. So
what does a good work culture or studio culture mean to you?
I mean, culture's huge for us. Creative's huge, support is huge, communication's huge. So I think support is a really big one. We're always making sure our team feels supported throughout the day, making sure that if they need to communicate with us, that they feel confident and comfortable saying, hey, I might need to get some help on the shot, and then we can easily shift things around, that kind of thing. We have amazing workflows and processes in place for that. We've got what we call daily targets, where we establish priorities and expectations so that everyone's on the same page. And if there is any concerns, that it's raised at the start of the day, and then we kind of check back in with them throughout the day as well. We have rounds with them to help them with technical. So there's that type of support. Creative is really important as well. So I encourage everyone to decorate or make their workspace personal, that kind of thing. And note over time, making sure everyone's healthy to keep that creative, the creativity.
What about remote work? Is there any remote work in your studio? Yeah.
So juniors and intermediates work on site, because to me it's really important that they learn from each other and from myself to help them, with their skill sets and things. And then seniors work remote if they want to. Cool. But we encourage them to come in as well, just to kind of share their knowledge and with the other team. So
that's an interesting rule to have. So when do you get
to cross over? It's not a rule. So, I mean, well, it is kind of like for intermediates and juniors, it is somewhat of a rule, because it's just important that they sponge off each other. And,
I agree with that. Yeah, I know a lot of people probably disagree with that, but I definitely think it's important to learn from people, especially while you're young and new. And,
but I think, and I mean, everyone that works on site wants to be there. And I think that if you set the culture, if it's like I said, if it's a healthy, supportive, fun, collaborative culture, then they want to be there.
Yeah.
They don't want, I feel like a lot of the juniors that have worked from home for other studios say, I love coming into the studio, it's so much better. I don't feel so isolated, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And how big is the team?
So we've recently grown to 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you got departments?
So across 3D and 2D. We initially started out with a focus on compositing and look dev and environment work, more the 2D side. But since we've grown to 3D as well, so we've got effects and hard surface and Unreal pipelines. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's fun. Also lots of machine learning going on as well now.
Oh, yes. So do you want to break that down for me in layman's terms? What sort of software you use and how you go about things?
Yeah, so on the 2D side, we mostly use Nuke. We also have Flame as well for online TVC commercial work.
Okay.
On the 3D side, we've got Houdini, Maya, Unreal, and like also now we're moving into machine learning. We've got Comfy UI. And Topaz as well, which is really cool.
Okay, I don't know what either of those are. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, so Comfy UI is basically a GUI that's familiar for visual effects artists because it's schematic or nodal based, and it uses base models like Stable Diffusion or Flux.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you can create lauras from that, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a space that we're really excited about. And we've recently been in discussions with AUT in building our own in-house machine learning tools, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're working with some computer scientists that have a specific background in machine learning to build our own in-house tools that I can't talk too much about, but yeah.
Secretive.
A little bit.
That's really cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So we've talked a little bit about, what about project management software?
So we use, for asset management, we use ShotGrid. It was Shotgun, and now it's ShotGrid, and now it's called Flow.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so it's owned by Autodesk. So it's asset management software that you can view all your shots in, and you can add notes, and you can build a pipeline around it and a workflow and processes around the things. So how our whole pipeline is built off the back of ShotGrid, and we have an incredible pipeline TD that we're constantly working with to improve efficiencies, because I'm huge about efficiencies. Like that's probably my main focus is efficiencies and looking at where we can improve and speed up workflows.
Yeah.
And we're constantly having meetings about that. And so our pipeline TD is amazing. And so all our whole pipeline is based on the back of Flow or ShotGrid. I still call it ShotGrid because I don't know. Yeah.
What you know.
Yeah.
So that's your project management systems. What about AI tools? So you're not worried about, these tools taking your jobs or anything like people are saying? I mean, it seems like you're on top of it. You're utilizing them,
I mean,
using them to your advantage.
I don't think worrying is going to do anything. That's not going to help.
Yeah.
I think you can either stick your head in the sand or be excited about it.
Yeah.
It's really the two options you've got. I understand why people would be worried about it. I understand from an artist's point of view, like feeling like they're being replaced or made redundant because of email. But I think I think the thing that shifted for me a little bit was when I actually started using the software and things. It became a bit more like, this is exciting. It's not so you're not kind of so overwhelmed by it, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that I was ever super overwhelmed by it, but I feel like in terms of my team and things and helping them get more familiar and comfortable with it, something like Comfy UI was amazing because it's very familiar. It's like a GUI base. So,
and do you have sort of, how do you train the team up on all of these sort of new tools? Do you have any specific training sessions, or
we do,
how do you approach that?
So we have like sandbox and pipeline projects that we create specifically for R&D work.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you sort of factor R&D work into your project pipelines, or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was
going to say you probably don't have a lot of downtime.
No, we don't. No, yeah. I mean we've got pipeline TDs which are pipeline technical directors, and then IT as well, and now this computer scientist kind of like working together. So, I mean, it's important to factor in R&D because like, if you're always keeping busy, like say if you're really, really busy and you're constantly busy, then all of a sudden you've got this 10x disruptor like AI or generative AI or ML come in and you're not prepared because you've been so busy, then that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
So, you need to make sure that, okay, this thing that's kind of in the background here, we need to look at that.
Yeah. And do you feel like people need to be a jack of all trades when it comes to visual effects? Like
Generalist, you mean?
Well, yeah, because you've got different 3D applications that you use, and then you've got 2D as well. Do people need to know a bit of everything, or I mean, you're large enough now that you've got people who are probably dedicated to one thing or another, but much smaller, companies. People need to know how to do everything. Is that kind of important, or do you think not really?
No, I think, especially when you're smaller on the 3D side, generalists are incredibly powerful because they can be across different parts. If you've got like an effects shot or like a hard surface shot or whatever, they can kind of be across those different types of work types. But no, I think if you're a compositor, then that's your focus, and so I don't think so.
So we've gone quite far into Masters of Reality, and I want to jump backwards a little bit because you've worked on some really amazing things.
Cool.
So, I mean, is it called Iloura?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Iloura,
I mean, was that where you did or worked on Mad Max Fury Road?
No, well, Iloura became Method, I think, at that point. Because Iloura became Method, then Framestore.
Yes.
I think it was Method when it was
bought out
in Sydney.
Yeah. So, I mean, in looking at things like behind the scenes for, things like Mad Max Fury Road, it always baffles me how much or how little the actors work with. I mean, sometimes sets are very large and elaborate, but often they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there's so much visual effects involved, and actors do such a fantastic job of pretending. I guess that's their job.
They've got eye lines and they've got stuffies and that kind of thing that they're kind of, but they do an amazing job.
Sure. And there's so much involved in putting all that visual effects, and I don't think people understand that. Yeah, you guys are doing more than probably people expect. People see it on screen and it's all there. But
I mean, that's the magic of VFX, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've worked on Jumanji.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 2017 Welcome to the Jungle. That's a pretty fun film. It's the sort of film that I would have thought was probably not going to be as good as it was, and then you watch it and you're pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Was that quite a fun film to work on?
It was really fun. I think that was. I think it was close to the last project I worked on at Method. At Method, I think I went on to Tomb Raider after that, and then finished up there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every project I worked with those guys was amazing. Like, they do, this is high-end VFX. It doesn't get much higher than that. So you're working with incredible artists, big effects, environment. Everything's big,
Yeah.
And they do such an amazing job at that type of all type of VFX work. So, and I mean, at that point, I was very close with the team. I'd been there for 3 years.
Yeah.
So it was lots of fun.
Yeah. I think we've got a little clip of Jumanji that we can play.
Heal! Oh my God! Alex, get ready to roll us to the side. What? But I tell you, roll 90 degrees to the right. Now! Just push me out the helicopter, jackass!
So for anyone who's not watching the YouTube version of this, that is Jumanji. It is Kevin Hart's character running away from a whole lot of rhinos and being killed and falling through a sideways helicopter. I mean, how much of that is real? It's just Kevin Hart running in front of a couple of rocks, right? I've watched the VFX. Most of that, all the rhinos are not there, obviously. The whole canyon's not there.
But then there's also lots of, and this is some other work that they do amazing, is digi-doubles. There's lots of CG takeovers of Kevin Hart, running and then being trampled, obviously.
He's obviously not being
trampled by rhinos, yeah. And then some really amazing digi-doubles and takeovers of The Rock as well.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, the CG that those guys do is just incredible.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into a little shot like that.
Yeah, especially on those really, really big. Well, I mean, it's not so much the case these days, but those big features, you would have a little bit more time to spend on those shots. Which is, I mean, I feel like it's becoming less and less. You know, these days everything's kind of more compressed timelines.
A little bit more competitive.
I mean, it's just more compressed. Like the expectation is to do more in less time. You know, which I mean,
I suppose as tools improve, that might get easier.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the creative and the quality aren't compromised, and they never should be. Yeah, but it's just that the tools are there. I mean, So.
Yeah. And you've worked on also a TVC for Asahi Superdry, which was pretty well received commercial. The comments on YouTube include, "This is one of the best advertisements I've ever seen. Most hardcore beer commercial I've seen. Still the best beer ad ever. Weird ad, but somehow satisfying and fucking insane." So why was this particular ad important to you?
So this was with my best friends, old VFX. Those guys are amazing as well. Some of the hardest working, talented people in the VFX game, and they're in my opinion, by far the top of the TVC world. And they're also obviously now doing long form, blah blah blah. So they're amazing. I don't disagree with all those comments. It looked incredible. It was such a cool TVC, and for me, it was a real important one because I was working alongside one of my best friends in the industry. And there was lots of collaboration between us, and lots of long hours, but like lots of fun, just working really closely with him. And his name's Matty Chance. He's a legend. So I mean, I think the highlights for me when we talk about projects in my career, it typically comes back to people. And it's the same when I'm with running Masters of Reality. The best projects are the people involved. It does come back to people, And the same with Game of Thrones. It comes back to the team that we were working with. We were kind of like so focused and you're really talented, creative, amazing artists, just so driven and focused on creating something that the best you can kind of thing. It's the same with the TVC, the Asahi. We were just trying to create the best work we possibly could, and you can see that that's what we achieved. I think it looks incredible. How
much time would you have on a commercial like that, as opposed to
good question. I think for I think the timeline probably with that one in total may have been a few months, but like the end part of it, I was compositing on that part of it, so we maybe had like a couple of weeks, maybe. Interesting. So then, but like you've got feature film and episodic, where you typically have a bit more time. On shots. But like I said, like especially with episodic work, the timelines are becoming more and more compressed. And features as well, but
And so you mentioned Game of Thrones there. So Battle of the Bastards, season 6, episode 9, nominated for 32 awards and won 19. So you, along with, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 co-workers, won Outstanding Compositing in a Photoreal Episode, awarded by Visual Effects Society. So what was that like?
Amazing.
I mean,
again, it was like working with my best friends, and like being acknowledged for the great work we did. So, I mean, we're so lucky in our industry. Like, I feel so lucky. Like, I get to work with amazing, cool people, like friends, and then do cool things. And then, when you're acknowledged for that, it's great.
Your names as well. I kind of always thought that if you win awards for things, it's just the company that wins, but your names are there.
Well, the company won an Emmy for that as well, for VFX. And this was specific to the visual effects in the film, and then specific to the comping on the film.
Right,
and the experience was amazing as well. We flew over to LA and we got the whole red carpet treatment. And you don't know if you're going to win, but you've got your fingers crossed and things, and you've got a fairly good idea that it's going to be a top contender. And then we got our names called, and we went up and received the prize, and it was game changer. It was
really cool.
It was so motivating for me, and again, being acknowledged for the hard work you've done with your best. Like, these guys are all best friends. Tice and Dom and Morgan, the guys that won that alongside myself, incredible artists and such hardworking people.
Yeah.
And so smart, so talented, all those things. So.
It was a really great episode as well. So I rewatched the whole of Game of Thrones a couple of months back, but in preparation for this episode, I rewatched that one episode and it's so juicy. Yeah, there's so much going on. Yeah. But also I've watched the behind the scenes visual effects breakdown, and while I was watching it, I was like looking out for this award-winning visual effects. I was looking, and it's you don't see it because that's what you're not supposed to see it, right? Unless you're Michael Bay and you're pushing lens flares into people's faces. Good visual effects you don't see.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
Until
really
you watch
amazing.
The breakdown and you see.
Yeah,
how much
and you see how
involved.
much because really it's Jon Snow and some of the other actors and not much else.
Yeah, and I mean, what an incredible opportunity to have been involved in. Arguably one of the biggest TV shows of all time. You know, and one of the biggest episodes of all time. Yeah. It was the reaction that episode got from fans and things was amazing, incredible. Yeah.
And there's so much detail that goes into that you don't even think about. I mean, I was in watching the VFX breakdown. They talk about all the horses because most of the horses are not real. I mean, the majority of horses are not there. They're all CG, but there's so many horses and just the dirt that that each hoof has to flick up and things like that. And you just don't think about how much work actually goes into that or is involved in that.
Again, a testament to Iloura, the amazing work amazing artists that they had there too. Like I say, they're at the top of their game and they have the some of the best artists working there, and so that those effects passes that you're talking about, and then the creature work, and they do that stuff so well. So
and then you back in New Zealand. What made you want to start Masters of Reality?
I had kind of been working towards it for about 5 years before starting the company. I wanted to give back to the New Zealand industry. That's where I started, and I wanted to come back, and that was the main drive to begin with. I started off on my own in my room with a bunch of computers, and then moved to a small studio. We were on one level was sharing it with about 3 other companies, and then within 6 months we had taken the whole floor. Wow. And had about 10 people working with us, something like that, 8 people. So, and then continued on from there, and we've now got a really lovely big studio in Kingston. So we're so lucky. Like we've worked on great projects. We've got an incredible team. And
what's your hiring process like when you're expanding like that?
So we've got 3 stages basically. We have like an interview stage, and then if that goes well, then we have the next stage of them coming into the studio and working with us for a day just to get a feel, not just for us to see how it feels, but for them as well to see if it's something that they're enjoying, that they'd enjoy, and then we choose the candidate from there. So,
cool. Yeah, but are you putting it out there on Seek, or are you putting it out there?
I mean, LinkedIn's the Seek. LinkedIn? I mean, LinkedIn is just great for the VFX community, for niche communities, I should say. Like, because
you get a lot more, international candidates over LinkedIn. Yes.
That's right. Yeah. But I mean, 90% of our team are Kiwis. Or like not Kiwis, but from New Zealand.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then we have fly some Aussies over.
Yeah. Yeah. And then would you say that your reel, if you're starting out, is your reel more important, or not necessarily if you're starting out, is your reel more important, or is it who you know that's more important? Like if you build relationships with people where they know you're good, they're going to be like, hey, come work over here. But, sometimes all you've got is your reel. So what is more important in the industry?
That's a great question. I think a strong reel is important. But I think for me, the bigger takeaways are when they're in that second stage of sitting in the studio, seeing how they work with the team, and just seeing that they've got a passion for it as well. Like passion is huge for me.
So what do you think is the difference between a mediocre visual effects artist and an amazing visual effects artist?
Ooh.
Like, what do people need? What do they need in their toolkit? What do they need to be or do to be amazing?
I think for an artist, you can break it down to creative and technical, and you have artists that are sometimes more on the technical side and then sometimes on the creative side. I think a great eye goes a long way. For me anyway, like if there's someone that I can see understands how a shot should work, like not only composition, but like in terms of color, and then that's huge for me. That's what I mean. I think it's probably a little bit kind of personal to people, like what they look for, but that's what I find. Yeah. But I guess it's a tricky question, because are we talking about juniors or intermediates or seniors? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Because I think for juniors it's different. The expectation when you have a junior is so different to a mid or a senior.
Yeah.
When you have a junior come in, it's all about supporting them and helping them, because you've got two sides. Like you're
really looking for like hard work and energy in a junior, right? More so than the actual talent, because they'll learn that.
So that you've got efficiency and then you've got quality.
Yeah.
So if you're high quality, you're typically low efficiency. If you're really efficient, your quality typically drops. So I'm always working with juniors to bring them up together in a level, level that out.
Yeah.
They'll typically be one or the other. And at Masters, we have 8-week reviews with everybody, and we check in with them, see how they're feeling, see if where they need support.
Yeah.
Discuss the goals that we've got about their growth and things. So we're constantly looking at helping them grow in their role, not just for juniors, with everyone, intermediates through to seniors through to composite. Like a senior might be, their goal might be moving into supervising, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah. And do you have like anyone in HR that helps you look after that, or is that all you?
It's kind of a little bit spread across production.
Yeah.
We've got HR management, then HR support, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, I want to talk about Megan.
Oh, yeah.
So the 2022 film Megan rated 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's a very popular film. We've got a little clip of it here.
You ungrateful little bitch.
Megan, turn off!
Oh, I'm afraid that won't work anymore, Katie. I have a new primary user now. Me.
So what we're watching there is Gemma and her little sister in the final fight scene against Megan, the robot, and it's pretty aggressive and it's pretty gory. I don't usually watch these sorts of films. I mean, it wasn't particularly scary, but I don't really watch horrors and slasher movies and stuff. So it's pretty interesting watch. But I can see why people really like it. It was very watchable.
Yeah, Jared did an amazing job.
Yeah, all filmed here in Auckland as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's sort of involved in a scene like that?
Yeah, so the bulk of the VFX work in Megan was face replacement work.
Yeah.
So that was replacing Megan's face with an actual CG face,
because some of it's done with animatronics and some of it's done with an actor, right?
Yeah, so there was some animatronic shots, and then there was an actor with a mask on her face with tracking markers, and then that needs to be tracked, and then a CG face created.
Yeah.
And then integrated, composited, kind of matched the lighting, grade to match. Lots of like interesting scene work was done on that too, like where you've got the integration from what was practical to CG, especially around the sides of her face. We kind of built some in-house tools to help with that, because it was quite a technical challenge at the time. Making it making it it's seamless, a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That was the bulk of the work on Megan, and then there were quite a few shots of like wound augmentation and lots of like interesting wire removal work as well. Yeah, where there's lots of stunts things and
yeah.
So multi-pass CG compositing is what we're doing. So you will render out all the different AOVs or shaders.
Yeah.
So that'll be like diffusion and specular, and then you put all that together, and you've got control over all that to kind of make it look like it lives in the world that it's been shot in.
Yeah.
Yeah. To match that kind of, and it's the same environment.
Yeah. And how many people in your team would be working on, Megan?
So Megan, it's going.
Is it the full team, or are there, different people working on different things?
Yeah. So I mean, that was going back early. That was our first project. Our first bigger project was Megan. I think we had under 10 people on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it was over 100 shots. I think at that point it was pretty much most of the team were on it. But now when we've got like 4 or 5 projects, we've got different teams working on different projects.
Yeah.
So
what's it like? Well, firstly, how does this sort of film land on your lap? Do you pitch for this sort of work, or do they come to you?
So this was a job through Finn out of Australia. So they were the main vendor on the job.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Fathom. Do you know the guys Fathom?
Yes.
So
I was going to say, because in the credits there are Finn, Fathom, and Masters of Reality.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, is that quite standard on a film? To share the load, because I mean one studio probably can't work on everything, or
I mean in this instance it was like an outsourced collaborative effort,
right,
where Finn were the main vendor and then we were supporting them and helping them get these shots. But in terms of like say a project like Spartacus that we've recently worked on, we will be a main vendor that's working directly with the client, and then there's other vendors as well, so that becomes a multi-vendor.
Yeah. But
then you've got like Mārama, or like in the indie feature we've recently done where we were the sole vendor, so it's kind of like different models.
Okay. Yeah. So Mārama is not released yet, to be released soon. Couldn't find a trailer for it.
No, I've been lucky enough to see the trailer, and it is so good.
Yeah, it looks good. Another gothic horror. You do quite a lot of dark, gritty sort of stuff.
We definitely did, especially the first couple of years. And it was funny, our VFX producer was squeamish around blood to begin with, and now she's just like, totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Like at the start, she's like,
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of things that you have to get used to when you're working on things that are scary and gory. But what did you like best about working on it?
It's such an incredible film, and the director Taratoa is so passionate, and it was just an amazing production to be a part of. And when they first said to me, we've got a mouldy gothic, I'm like, this is so unique. I've never heard of a mouldy gothic film.
Yeah.
And the script was incredible, and all the team on it was so hardworking and just so driven and so passionate towards achieving Taratoa's vision. And I can't wait for that one to be released.
I've seen that the release date is September. Is that correct? Do you know? I
shouldn't say, because I have a date, but I don't know if it's been officially released, so I won't.
Right. Yeah. So, but this year, it's going to be released, right?
I believe it's in film festivals this year.
Right, okay, cool. Yeah, it looks amazing.
So I can probably just say I believe it's in film festivals this year, and I think it's an early next year release.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to really watching a lot of horrors and slashes and things, often you will, they'll cut when you get to the gore, they'll cut and they'll cut to someone's reaction or something. But then in a lot of these films, like there was one scene in Maxxxine where she's got her wedge heel and she just steps on this guy's nads and they just pop, and I just go, I was just not expecting it. I was not expecting to see this stuff, but you guys are looking at this sort of thing all
that was
the
a
time.
funny one, yeah. That was a bit of a running joke in house of like who to give that to.
Yeah, so you guys did do that shot.
Yeah, we did that shot. Yeah, that was a tough one to review. I was like, I can't. I mean, it was
I just wasn't expecting to see that. And
because obviously you don't watch it once either. You watch it a lot because you're reviewing.
You guys are scrolling back and forth, watching them pop. It's pretty.
Yeah, that was probably the toughest one I've had to look.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got a lot of horror, thriller, gritty content. I mean, even there's The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, which is a Australian drama, 2023, which I watched all of in one day. It's pretty good. But I mean, even that, you know, it's got flowers in the title and flowers on the cover. I was like, this will be lovely. But it's quite dark. It's all about abusive relationships and dealing with trauma. So, I mean, you have you got quite a name for yourself, Masters of Reality, doing sort of dark, gritty content?
I guess so. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, all those projects have been incredible, though.
Yeah.
Like, so fun. I mean, we do everything, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, we seem to have done a lot more of that type of work, especially in the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last years, obviously, we've done Disney recently, and that was
Yes. Zombies.
Yeah, zombies.
Yeah.
And then Spartacus as well, which obviously has some gore and things in there. But
Yeah. That also is soon to be released. How far in advance? Because you're at the end of the pipeline, visual effects, everything's already been filmed, and then it comes to you. You know, how far are you working before the release date, or are you working right up to the wire of, you know, things airing?
No, I mean, yeah, there's a few, there's months. I mean, it all depends on the project, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we finished Mārama a while ago, and we finished Spartacus maybe a month or two ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so there's time between us finishing and then actual release. So
Yeah. What are they doing in that time?
I
I always thought they'd be kind of like, it's done, get it out there. But no, they're sitting on it.
yeah, there's
I
distribution.
guess they wait. They have to wait for the right time to release it, right?
Yeah, there's lots of. I mean, there's obviously grade as well and things like that.
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. Can't forget about them. I mean, you have a fair amount of New Zealand films and TV shows on your website. So there's the recently independently funded 2025 zombie film, Forgive Us All. That was filmed in Queenstown.
Yeah.
And then you've got, the New Zealand Gothic horror Mārama. So, I mean, what percentage of your work comes from New Zealand versus overseas?
10%, not a lot. It's pretty small.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Majority of
interesting.
it's, you know, for this like streaming companies like Netflix, Amazon, or feature films as well. So majority of it's offshore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to support local as well.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some very exciting projects that we're discussing at the moment for next year.
Yeah.
Again, some of the most amazing scripts come out of New Zealand. I think, you know, some incredible work.
Yeah.
So.
And do you have to pitch for any of that work? I still don't really know how it
Oh
comes
yeah,
to
for
you.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, like a lot more work comes to us. Like especially in the first couple of years, I was, you know, chasing. And now.
And what does chasing involve?
Long lists of leads, constantly emailing, constantly
Cold emailing and stuff.
that kind. Well, a bit, you know, like introductions are obviously hugely helpful. Is getting them as much as possible, kind of thing. But now that we're kind of getting a bit more of a name for ourselves, and we're getting a lot more coming to us now, which is great. So as an example, like we'll get a script from the producer or sometimes the director if it's like a New Zealand indie feature. Yeah. And then we'll do a VFX breakdown from there to give them an idea of budget and cost pricing and tiering and that kind of thing. Yeah. And then we'll be in discussions with them, just working on that constantly up until if that's awarded, there'll be other companies also doing that as well. And then we will be working with them up until actual production. And then we'll be on set for that, and then we'll go into post or VFX from there.
Oh yeah. So you actually get to go on set.
Yeah, I was on set for Mārama.
Oh,
That's really cool. Yeah.
That's very cool.
But on projects like Spartacus, we work with the client side VFX supervisor and producer. Yeah. And a shout out to them too. They're like Charlie and Helene were incredible to work with. Just, you know, when you work with people that they just make the project so easy to work on, and it's such a well-oiled machine, and it just makes such a huge difference. So yeah.
So, do you get to go on site for most of the projects that you work on?
On set. No, that's kind of like what I'm saying. Like some we will when it's needed, or we offer that as a service as well. But something like Spartacus, where it has a VFX on-set supervisor and client-side supervisor for the VFX as well, already attached to it, then we work with them. Yeah. And the same with Disney as well.
Where was Spartacus filmed?
Auckland.
Mm.
Oh. All on green screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And we were using Unreal workflows and things on that, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing environment work.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah, and that's what is it? House of Ashur? Is that how
House of Ashur?
Ashur.
Yeah, and Charlie has an incredible eye, and he knows what he wants. And we would have them in the studio. They could come in and sit with us for an hour or so at the start of the episode, and it's so fun to work with. And we just go through all the layout and the camera and make sure it's kind of what he's wanting to kind of get that all set up at the start, and then we'd go from there, and we'd be kind of having revisions with him. And yeah, he's such a great guy to work with.
Oh, that's good. That's very cool. There's Jaharu Aman, founder of Cave Academy, and he was on a visual effects podcast that I was listening to the other day. He talks about how it'd be really beneficial for a lot of studios to be able to take on young people and students and graduates and be able to train them on site, but most studios just don't have the budget for that. Would you sort of agree with that?
As an internship kind of thing?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Because obviously the best way to learn is to be in a studio.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, is it just easier for a studio, that's doing work like yours to just hire experienced people because you can?
So, I mean, I was actually chatting with Media Design School about this recently, about opportunities to have a part of the company that's dedicated to internships.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea. I think for a small studio, you'd have to look at a model something like that, because you've got an allocated amount of seats that you need to fill.
Yeah, you've got to pay for that workstation.
Exactly, and the type of work needs to be relative to the team you've got. If you've got a certain type of work, then you need to consider the right type of level of artist for that type of work, etc. But I mean, we have lots of amazing talent come out of Media Design School working with us. Most of the team, come out of Media Design School. Yeah.
So they're getting that experience in one way or another.
Yeah, and I mean, it's either they're getting that, if it was an internship, they're getting the experience leading up to it, or they graduate and then they work with us, and that's typically more what it is. They graduate and work with us. But I mean, I would be totally open to having artists working as an intern at an intern level. Yeah.
And what would your advice be? I went to an event the other day with the Motion Designers Guild and Visual Effects Guild, and there were a lot of people there, graduates who are struggling to find work. What's your advice for young people just coming out and trying to find work? What's the best thing to do? I
mean, globally, volume's down right now. It's definitely it's hard for everyone at the moment. So I think it's seeing where things kind of go over the next 6 months. Hopefully more opens up, so there's more opportunity for them then.
Yeah.
But there's no easy answer there, right? If the volume's down, the volume's down, and people aren't hiring. Then there's no work there for them. For the companies to bring on people. So I think it's just a matter of waiting until that work comes back. And I know that's hard.
Yeah. Just finding something else temporarily, but not giving up hope, because...
No, I mean, I think people that love it and are passionate about it will either stick at it or find other ways to like keep themselves motivated, whether that's maybe they are working another type of job or they're doing their own projects at home on their own computer, or like I would always go out and shoot stuff and just have fun with my friends and make whatever. I mean, that stuff is it's still keeping you sharp,
creating stuff for your real, learning things as you go, but also maybe not be afraid to just go where the work is. Like if there's something overseas,
for sure,
don't stick around.
No, I mean, and I did that as well. Like I think that's a huge one. That's been a huge one for me in my career, is like putting myself where the work is. Like it's all very well wanting to like say work for a company in Brisbane. Like I wanted to work for Alt VFX, but they didn't have any jobs available at the time. But I just moved there anyway, and I got a job with Cutting Edge, and I was there for a couple of months, and then a job came up for Alt VFX, and I went straight to them. I had a job with them within 2 months, but I think if I hadn't put myself in that position, then you might and ah about it where you are, or you're not there to kind of be an in-person, go talk to them, like I went and met with them and had an in-person with them, and that makes it that much easier, for
put yourself in there. Yeah,
exactly. So I think that's a really good point. Be hungry. Yeah,
definitely. Do you have a favourite film or show that you've worked on?
I think the ones we've touched on, probably in my career as a artist supervisor, I think Game of Thrones was a big one. And then the Asahi job at Alt was a big one. Again, mostly because of the people and the experience.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of masters, I think Spartacus has probably been a real highlight. We delivered over 500 shots on that project, so that was kind of like a big milestone for us to hit.
Jeez.
And we grew to a mid-sized company of 20 people, and it all worked incredibly well. And we started off as a vendor they hadn't worked with before, and then we became a main vendor on the project over the time because it was just going so well. So that was really exciting, and something that we always do as well is celebrate our milestones internally. Because I mean, in VFX things are so constant, and you're on to the next thing, and you need to make sure that you do celebrate those milestones when they happen. So yeah, I'd probably say Spartacus would be one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the most challenging part of running a business?
I think this is just from my personal. There's lots of challenge in running a business, but I feel like I'm kind of somewhat built for it in that I love it. Like I love the challenge of running a company. I don't know like what one specific challenge is. There's so many constant challenges. But again, like it's all rewarding, right? It's all fun and it's exciting, and I don't really look at it as challenge either.
You seem like someone who's just taking things on as they come.
Yeah. I think one thing I'm good at is not procrastinating. Like as soon as there's an idea on it, I'm already deep in it and I'm going for it. You know, like we've got virtual production stuff going at work at the moment. We've got machine learning, like big kind of projects happening, as well as some really exciting projects that are running on the floor. And it's super exciting, right? Yeah.
Was there ever a moment when you first started where you were like, that's a stupid idea, I can't do that? Or were you just in like...
No.
No?
What do you mean?
No self-doubt? You're just...
No. I think I get that from my dad. Like he's a successful businessman as well.
Yeah. So you knew what you were doing right from the get-go.
And my grandfather was incredibly successful. I think those guys are my mentors.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. Like I've been brought up not to really have that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
my mum's super strong woman too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this. I mean, I think about that sometimes. Like my mum and my dad kind of like they just raised me to like not feel like I couldn't do anything. Like I feel like I do things that people might be like, oh, I couldn't do that, or like I can't make this next thing happen or something. But I never think about that.
Yeah, that's a nice mindset to have. No self-doubt
Yeah,
at all. That's great.
incredible parents.
Yeah,
Very lucky.
oh, that's good. And then, so what about like biggest lessons learned in managing staff?
Yeah, great question. I think for me, it's about letting go of the vine, if that's an expression you've heard of, or delegate to elevate.
Yeah.
I think, and not micromanaging. I think especially when you're like starting out, like trusting the people around you, having lots of smart people around you and trusting in them and giving them that ownership, and they will do a great job. And when you see that, you feel like, oh, that feels good, you know, and they'll do a better job than you will. They'll come up with better ideas than you will. Yeah. So it's about trusting them and letting them have ownership.
Yeah, but
that's something my dad taught me as well.
Hiring the right people, so the people that you can trust.
And I mean, you're not always going to hire the right person, you know. And I think that's kind of getting back to that like self-doubt, that question of self-doubt. It's like I know that there's people that in my life that I want them to do really well, and I see them having self-doubt about things. It's like, it's okay if you don't get it right. If you fail at something, that's fine. If you drop the ball, it's fine. You're going to just like actually accept that you will. It's not going to be perfect. Yeah. You know, but that's okay. You'll learn from it, you know. I mean, our recruitment process at the start was not what it is now. Yeah. And we learned a lot over the time, and it's so much better now, you know. We know what we're looking for. We know how to vet things properly. Yeah. And I mean, that comes from so many experiences of not doing things the way that we do it now, or the best way. So and even right now, I think it's great, but it will be better, you know. As we learn more.
Always room to improve. And so, are most of your staff on permanent contracts, or are you fixed term, or lots of freelancers?
We have a core team. Our core team is all employees. Yeah. And I like to try and offer employment and give that security as much as possible. Give them people options of either being a contractor or an employee. Yeah. Yeah. Do
you find people want to be contractors more, or
it
want
kind
to be
of
permanent
depends.
staff?
Yeah, like mostly permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's lots of benefits with, like, obviously the security side, especially in our industry where sometimes security isn't there. Yeah. So I'd say, more employment. Yeah.
And what's a project that you're most proud of?
All of them. I'm proud of everyone. I mean, I love what I do. Yeah. I love visual effects. I always have. I mean, even from when I was a kid, like I'd go out fishing on my dad's boat and I'd take crayons and draw. Like I just love art. You know? So I'm proud of all of them for sure. I mean, I'm sure I'm proud of like maybe more than others. I don't know, but I think I'm just proud of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the best?
But probably like Spartacus, like I said before. I think it's just like milestones. Like that was a huge one for us. Like 500 shots is a lot, you know. Yes. Yeah, and I think like you can have 500 shots and it not go well. You know, or you could have 500 shots and then go really well. And that and it went really well. It proved that our pipeline and our workflows and everything worked really, really well. There's been projects where last minute they'll have a change of brief and it'll be across 100 shots or something, and very quickly you've got to come up with an idea and get that approved by client side and then roll that out, and it might be within a short timeline of a week or two, you know, and that's pretty quick to kind of come up with ideas and then push it all out. But we've had to do that, and it worked really well, and that comes back to our efficiencies, always working on our workflows, always working on our pipeline. Like we can turn things around very quickly at scale. Yeah. You know.
So when someone comes to you with a job, do you tell them how long it's going to take, or do they tell you this is how long you've got?
They set milestones. Yeah. Like they've got delivery milestones that they need to hit. Yeah. I mean, you could break it down.
Is there any pushback there, or never really?
From us?
Yeah.
No. I mean, they set set
so you're
that.
like, they say this is when it's going to happen, and you say yes.
Yeah. I mean,
yes, we can.
No, but also, you know, like you won't be well, you shouldn't be bidding outside your capacity or outside what you know you do really well, those types of, we don't. Like, we make sure that we've got the team there for it. Or if we don't, well, we've got weekly meetings where we discuss capacity and visibility, and I meet with productions, go, do we need to employ more people? Getting ahead of it way ahead of it, sorry.
Do you have the ability to expand, or do you sort of outsource when that happens?
No, we've got the ability to expand to 30 internally.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to become a big studio. I want to stay like a mid-sized studio. I mean, I could have multiple mid-sized studios, and that's more the plan, is to have a mid-size in Australia and a mid-size in New Zealand.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of power in being a mid-sized studio, especially in our landscape with things changing so quickly. And that's why I think that's why a lot of the bigger studios struggle now, is they need to adapt quickly, and it becomes really, really difficult in those really big companies, for those really big companies. So
yeah. So if you do open up a studio in Australia, would you?
Not if, when.
When?
Yeah.
When?
I always say it to people. Not if,
yeah,
when.
yeah. Remember, you've got the good mindset. So when you start a studio in Australia, are you going to go over there and live over there and head it up, or are you going to stay based here?
Yeah, good question. So these are things I'm working through at the moment. Like, this has been it's a fairly new idea or new thing that we're doing. I'm at the stage where I'm talking with Austrade and Ausfilm, so it's very early stages. But those things I'm looking at as well at the moment, with probably being that I will be over there helping set up, because the company here runs so well. It runs itself. Well, it doesn't, but I mean,
you've got a good team around.
We've got an amazing team, so
Yeah, cool. And Caleb, what's the best part of your job?
I love that I can create something I'm proud of, I think, probably. Like, we don't, like, not having to work overtime. Like, it used to kill me seeing artists that I love, like, there's some, like artists that you just like, man, you're so good at what you do. And then, like, 3 to 6 months into it, they're burnt out and they hate it. And I'm like, man, it's so hard. It's like heartbreaking,
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool to be able to create something that you're proud of, that you think is how it should be done. And, like, we have a huge focus on quality, which I'm really proud of as well. We have like internal, like it's an internal scorecard where you keep QCs below 2 internally, then below 2 with the client. So we're typically getting first pass QC every time is the aim. Meeting our core values, so that's quality, accountability, efficiency, those things. Accountability is huge, efficiency is huge. Efficiency is speaking to no overtime as well. We work efficiently in our hours, so we go home on time. It's about those things. So setting core values and a vision for a company that you're proud of. And it's super exciting, and I don't do overtime either. I get to go home on time and spend my weekends with my family.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
It's how it is.
Yeah.
And
then there's all over YouTube, if you look up visual effects, there's the visual effects industry is burning, that sort of thing. Like, is that just clickbaity shit, or is there actually real problems that we need to worry about?
Like, machine learning is a huge, like a 10x disruptor, right? There has been huge issues in our industry, like the flow on of the strikes. That's still a big, an issue for confidence, like projects being greenlit later. There have been a lot of issues. And again, I think that's why mid-sized studios can manage. Man, I think they can manage it better. So I mean, it has been a tough time. I think, like, it depends who you ask as well. Like, there's some companies that will be like, oh, it's been really tough, and then there's other companies like, it's been fine. Like, we've been fortunate that we've had projects just keeping us going,
Yeah.
So
that's good.
But I think, like, if you say, like, if you have one project in post in New Zealand and you're not included in that conversation, then you don't have any options, and then it becomes a real issue. Because if there's nothing on the horizon and you've got overheads that are constant, you've got 6 months before the next project starts, and that's a big problem in VFX, then you know.
Yeah. And how many projects would you normally have in the studio at once?
I mean, it all depends. Like recently we had 4 running. We had not Netflix. We had a Lionsgate job, Sony job, a Disney job, and then a indie feature. So it depends. Like, yeah. And then now we have 2 projects running. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's all film and television. There's not a lot of TVCs that do visual effects. Well, TVCs are sort of, it's not huge anymore, is it?
We've been doing more commercials recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, especially with the kind of like where there hasn't been overlap between features and episodic work. Then that's another way to keep busy. So we've been doing some really cool TVC work, and TVC is fun. Like it's different for sure. But I spent so much. I did 2 years at Alt, at arguably the best TVC VFX studio in the world.
Yeah.
So, I've got lots of experience and I love it. It's like it's super quick. It's super creative. It's like. It's fun.
I would have thought that TVCs would be declining, being that no one's really watching TV anymore and everything's sort of more social based.
Yeah, I think for what I'm finding anyway. There's lots of smaller TVC jobs. There's they're smaller but kind of more of them. I think the big TVCs, there's probably less of them.
Yeah.
But they're still there. I mean, and Australia's got lots of really, really cool TVCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Alt still do incredible, like lots of cool TVC work.
Yeah. Where are they based?
Brisbane. Yeah.
Right.
So I lived there for a couple of years. So I spent almost like 15 years. So this is the other thing, like for Australia, like I know it better than here. Like my network is, like when I came back, it had been so long since I'd been in New Zealand. Like I didn't really know many people at all. But starting a studio in Australia is easy. It feels like really easy for me. Like I'm looking at places, I'm like, I know it all really well, and I know everyone there. And
so, you would have lived in Sydney and Brisbane and Melbourne as well?
So, yeah, I went Adelaide and then Melbourne and then Sydney and then Brisbane and then Byron Bay. Yeah. So, so everywhere.
Everywhere in Australia.
Yeah.
What about Wellington? You've been down to Wellington?
I worked at Weta.
Oh, you worked on The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So what were you doing on that? Are you compositing?
Yeah, I was compositing on the Weta.
Yeah.
On The Hobbit, yeah.
On The Hobbit.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. Incredible to be a part of, Weta and the type of projects that they work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the forefront of tech, like it's incredible the technology they have down there.
Yeah. And so where do you see Masters of Reality in the next 10 years?
So our vision is to be New Zealand's leading independent VFX studio. And that's what we're working towards.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to be a big studio. I want to stay mid-size. I mean, these things evolve as they go. Like, I wasn't always looking into Australia, but now that's a part of our vision as well now. So yeah.
Why not a big studio?
Like I said before, I don't think the agility's there. I feel like when and especially in like such a changing landscape now with tech, you really need to be able to pivot quickly, So I think just having that agility really in a smaller studio.
That's cool. Well,
I mean, and the thing is like you can turn around huge amounts of like shots at scale, very quickly in a mid-sized studio with like good great pipeline and great workflows and small teams too. Like we've often had clients think that there's 60 people behind us, and it's just because we've worked so hard on our workflows and our pipeline, and that it makes it feel like, because we like on Disney, they're like, we just gave you this note 5 minutes ago and you've already turned this around to us. They're like, what, this is incredible,
Yeah.
So that kind of feedback's really cool to get.
I mean, I suppose with a medium-sized business, it's easier to keep everyone busy as well. You don't have to scale down in the slow times quite as much.
Yeah, and it's a little bit scary for big studios when they have huge payroll, like millions of dollars of payroll, and then a project pushes, and that's been the case with lots of VFX studios in the past. And that's that's not the case so much with a mid-sized studio.
Yeah,
you're not kind of having to front that type of risk.
Yeah,
it's slightly less risk, or it's a lot less risk.
a little bit easier to make payroll.
Yeah. So
yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, your 10-year plan sounds amazing. I look forward to seeing how you go and seeing this extra branch in Australia open up. Sounds amazing. And thank you so much for coming in and talking all about your story, Caleb.
Thank you so
great.
much. Yeah, it's been lots of fun. Thanks.